De La Salle brothers celebrate 75 years anniversary. Lawyers raise concerns on abuse of powers. And remote school in need of support. Good evening and welcome to Sunday's news. I'm Kilawani. The Catholic mission that trained one prime minister and many prominent civil servants celebrated its Diamond Jubilee yesterday. The De La Salle brothers held a church service to mark 75 years in Papua New Guinea through teacher training and student learning.
A holy mass to thank the Lord for the many years of the Catholic brothers' work in the country. The celebrations in Port Moresby took place at the Bomana De La Salle Secondary School ground, symbolic of the arrival of the mission in the southern region before expanding into the highlands.
Today, we are very grateful for your mission for the last 75 years and really appreciate your work you have done to the church and especially to our young people here in PNG. We salute you for your contribution. You have done a marvelous, tremendous work to educate our young people, especially the marginalized and the poor.
Current and former students came from as far as Berina, where Mainoana De La Salle is in the Central Province, Holy Trinity from Western Highlands Province, and Kondi Rosary Secondary in the Simbu Province.
We find that the 75 years of education has gigantically, it has monstrously helped us, not just to become students, but to become better people, to become more than just who we are, to become a better version of ourselves.
From my experience in Rosary Secondary School, De La Salle brothers contributed much. They contribute everything towards our studies and physical, spiritually, everything.
The former teachers of the Lasallian schools also returned to celebrate with the brothers.
I am actually very proud of the students that have performed very well in all the Lasallian schools now, because it shows the dedication of the teachers' performances then, and how they have taught the students. The performance have actually gone up from 1987, 88, that type, so you have actually come up.
We, the lay partners, the Lasallian family members of Papua New Guinea, are very privileged and very honored to be able to share this 75 years anniversary. It's actually a golden, a Diamond Jubilee celebration with our brothers, to tell them, to show them that support and that affirmation against that we, the Lasallian family of Papua New Guinea, are behind the brothers.
The De La Salle mission is focused on two areas in its missionary work: teachers' education and student learning. Over the years, the mission has trained esteemed members of society in various sectors, including a Prime Minister late Sir William Skate, sport personalities Justin Olam, PNG Orchid coach Bagalo Solian, and senior military man Lieutenant Colonel Boniface Aruma, to name a few.
It's the foundation of who we are today. And to come back and remember the brothers who have committed their time and effort and energy to, for the good of the country, developing the manpower, future generation, contributing to the development of the country is it's an honor to come back and to be able to celebrate it with the current students, then the teachers and the brothers to mark this occasion.
The De La Salle brothers and their mission comes from the founder Saint John Baptist De La Salle, who in the Catholic faith is the patron saint for teachers. He is the modern-day founder of classroom teaching, which the world has adopted and uses today. This following his conviction to teach poor students together in one classroom as opposed to one-on-one lectures that the privilege accorded to the children. The arrival of the brothers in 1946 not only paved way for the start of the mission work in PNG, but inspired an active Lasalian movement, the app of educators, former students and mentors. Podivai National EMTV News.
Senior lawyers from the Individual Community Rights Advocacy Forum have raised concerns over the continuous abuse of powers by police and people in a position of power. This has contributed to the rise in human rights abuse in the country. They say the rule of law and the Constitution is under attack.
About public to the media report on what happened.
Speaking to the media on Friday, senior lawyers under the Individual and Community Rights Advocacy Forum raised concerns on the increase in the number of human rights abuse. So far, they have received over 21 complaints of human rights abuse in Alatau alone. They say this is a result of continuous abuse of powers by police and people in position of power.
Police tries to attend to the law and order situation there. The police themselves have raised fear among people, not just fear, but there's real fear because of their actions within the communities. And we are concerned about the human rights abuses there.
Some of these complaints include eviction of settlers in Alatau, unlawful searches without warrants, and unlawful burning down of properties, among others. The lawyers are concerned that PNG is already becoming a police state, with law enforcement officers and those in power becoming more powerful and taking the law unto themselves. Chairman Paul Hariknen says the state of violence and abuse of powers has risen, where lawyers, magistrates and judges can no longer do their work freely without fear, intimidation and harassment.
In the laws, there's a limitation to it. Likewise, the police have powers to arrest, to search, but there are rules and regulations that they need to comply with before they can do that. And as citizens, we are concerned because as we develop and move into the 21st century, if we don't safeguard the rule of law, it's going to be very, very difficult for anything else to happen.
With over 21 complaints recorded in Alatau, they are working with like-minded lawyers in the country to help address this issue. They say the rule of law and the Constitution is under attack, and they will continue to assist victims get the justice they deserve.
The cases that have come out as a result of abuses against the people in Milne Bay, we have 21 cases that are already put together and are looked at, assessed, and to start the court processes.
They are calling on the government to ensure proper rules of engagement in police operations and to observe the rule of law and follow due processes. The processes are spelled out in the Constitution, and they are the pillars of the democratic government system and the judicial system.
These processes are the pillars of our democratic system of not only government but the judicial system that we have. And if we continue to allow abuses in the disguise of the implementation of the rule of law, then we go in against the grain of those provisions.
Rayon Lakingu National, EMTV News.
50 participants from the 5 Highlands provinces successfully completed a 2-week workshop for the Start and Improve Your Business training for trainers. Spouse of the Prime Minister Rachel Marape and SME Corporation Chairman John Pora attended the closing ceremony of the workshop. The trainers training workshop was attended by provincial and District Administration of the Eastern Highlands, Simbu, Jiwaka, Western Highlands and Enga provinces. Participants were challenged to bring the training to their districts with efforts to change their mindset and attitude of local business owners.
Aim steady in order to make money so that you can look at yourself. Don't throw hard work, do you come out? But most of the time, people are relaxed.
We have to build the knowledge economy of Papua New Guinea. This is a relationship between government and citizen, but equally a relationship between citizen and government. It's a dual relationship.
You know, it's all about relationship. Now, starting small, okay? It may have taken us this many years to come to this realization, but everything starts small. So we believe in starting small, and that's why this program is very convenient, okay? You know, it addresses the issues that are, you know, that are facing us, like every day. Lawlessness, everything, because all men don't apply for them life, and they're not empowered.
A remote church-run school in the South Fly electorate of Western Province is planning to build more classrooms and seeks help from the public. Waidora Destiny Transformation School is making wonders for children in its community. While parents in towns pay hefty fees for a better education foundation for their children, this school is charging only 10 kina. The school currently has 81 students aged between 3 and 12. Covenant Ministry International runs the school and teaches the International Education Agency standards for early childhood learning. Chairman and founder of the school, Pastor Dadu Gabara, said teaching is done voluntarily by 2 church members who had undergone the IEA training. Pastor Gabara said their only need right now is to build permanent classrooms for their students. You're watching National EMTV News. When we come back, we bring you a closer look on land ownership struggle in the country. Welcome back. Customary land is the heart of Papua New Guinea. This is so because of many underlying reasons, which can include physical, mental, and spiritual aspects. However, customary land ownership has been challenged to the core since Papua New Guinea's independence in 1975 as a result of development activities or investment opportunities arising, and also as a result of the fact that alienated land after expiry of 99-year lease must go back to the state according to law. This has also enabled challenges for businesses and even researchers in the country to deal with the issue, amidst customary landowners being urged to register their land. Matters relating to customary land issues surfaced during Parliament question time last week. Dennis Orere with this report.
Out of a total area of 462,840 square kilometers that Papua New Guinea has, 9,980 square kilometers is made up of land, while the rest is water. Almost 97% of land in PNG is still owned by traditional landowners, with the state owning the remaining 3%. The Department of Lands and Physical Planning administers all alienated land, both state-owned and freehold, in PNG. It also facilitates customary land issues at the discretion of the customary landowners for social and economic sustainability in an endeavor to provide better living for Papua New Guinean citizens. But there are grey areas between state-owned and customary land ownership in various provinces and districts around the country. Dr. One Rageau from the Customary Land Law Foundation in PNG spoke on MTV's In Focus program, defining how special and sincere customary land is to Papua New Guineans.
So customary land is to the very heart of Papua New Guineans. And if you want to know about that type of aspect, it's the livelihood of Papua New Guineans, because over many, many generations, people have lived by from the customary land resources. And second point is that it is the recognized spiritual element to the customary land. And thirdly, it is the soul of Papua New Guineans. So you got a livelihood, you got a spirit, and you got a soul. And Papua New Guinea, to that sense of customary land, is very, very important.
Laws relating to customary land have been a huge challenge because of this fact about customary land to Papua New Guineans.
Customary land is owned by Papua New Guineans. And when Papua New Guineans live many generations, it was from the beginning of times, before any explorers or any businessmen or any governments or anybody outside. There were people in Papua New Guinea. People were living on the customary land of our Papua New Guinea customary land. So in fact, there were people there. So when Papua New Guinea went through all the stages of development and come to Papua New Guinea independence in 1975, so about 45 years ago, there was a tendency that we need to use the laws, and the laws that we must understand that belong to Papua New Guineans. And I would like to make a point to all Papua New Guineans that to the national constitution we have yet to use your customary laws. And customary law is that respect is under that underlying law.
A research fellow from the PNG National Research Institute, Logea Now, who has done research into land issues in the country, also spoke on MTV's In Focus program.
All of us Papua New Guineans claim to own land in this country. It's an issue that we hold very dear, very close to our hearts. Its research informs us that 97% of land of total land in Papua New Guinea is still owned by customary landowners, with 3% of that already under state control or in private hands under private freeholds. So you can understand that because most of us Papua New Guineans still own land, we hold that very close to our hearts, and it's I'm actually privileged to be in a position to contribute to the discussions and debates around customary land, especially how we can improve access, mobilization, protect the rights of customary landowners, not just in the towns and major centers around the country, but also especially in the rural areas.
With the critical land issues and challenges identified around the country in relation to customary landowners, formal land ownership declaration and registration has been encouraged.
The process that is currently being advocated for is voluntary. So it is one of the options available for customary landowners to register their customary land. At the moment, it's a two-phase process. First phase is the ILG phase, or Incorporated Land Group phase. This is the phase in which customary landowners are given the opportunity to allow them to formalize their land ownership. So by registering their interest on customary land, it allows them to formalize their ownership, and so that others that are outside of that landowning unit, whether that be a clan or a tribe or a family unit, it allows parties that are outside of that formal unit to engage with them in a formal and legal, over formal and legal transactions. So that's the first phase of the process. Let me also point out that by getting an Incorporated Land Group or ILG certificate, that is not the title to the piece of land. This is only the process that recognizes formal ownership.
The voluntary customary land registration process is in two parts: integrated land group recognition and the actual registration with formal and legal transactions made. There is still work going on to improve the process.
This is where, after incorporating your land group or formalizing your social unit, landowners are then given the opportunity to obtain a title over a portion of land that they want to release for development or commercial purposes, whether that be for the state to use or investors, foreign or local investors to use for commercial opportunities. So basically, there are two phases in the process of registering your customary land. There's the ILG phase and the land registration phase. And both those processes are currently administered by the Department of Lands and Fiscal Planning.
In Parliament this week, concerns relating to both customary land and alienated or state land were raised by Kairuku-Hiri MP Peter Isoaimo.
With district towns where local landowners or indigenous landowners are converging or coming in to try and claim land, saying that after on expiry of 99-year leases of state, the land reverts back to themselves. And they've taken over much of government properties, especially buildings.
Lands and Physical Planning Minister John Rosso responded to the concerns raised during question time to clarify things, particularly from a legal perspective.
There's been a lot of misconception on alienated land in Papua New Guinea. Alienated land, time also was state lease and 99-year lease. Plenty of Papa ground thing was 99-year lease finish and by go back to Papa ground. Nogat. The law states unequivocally, like definitely that the land reverts back to the state and Papa legisla ground. Ogada alienated land lo Papua New Guinea. There is no go back to Papa ground. That is by law.
MP Isoaimo was concerned that some important government land and infrastructure are at risk of being lost to indigenous landowners if the responsible authorities do not act accordingly as required.
I think it was asked, or I asked the last minister in the last term of government, but he said it was a grey area that his department will come back to inform people of Papua New Guinea through this parliament. So number one question, suppose minister can talk clear along side law, long Land Administration Act or one kind law and got law department as to whether our law, not or last place he got right long this plus situation where all state lease 99-year lease expire.
99-year lease finish. And go back law when I'm government again looking suppose developing this ground or put him out the tender and up money got interest land can develop him with proper money or something or can develop him again. That goes for every single state alienated land in Papua New Guinea. Inside the alienated land, you got some land we call freehold, which most of our missions are on. The freehold land and stop on the mission. That is what we cannot interfere with forfeiture or management. We can only interfere in the matters of physical planning.
The Central Provincial Government and the National Capital District Commission have been at loggerheads in recent months over land matters, with Governors Robert Agarobe and Poes Pakop seen as being at opposite ends of arguments. The Hiri Vanapa Sogeri or Hivaso concept is one that has clouds hanging over it as to who devised it and how it will be administered. The Kairuku-Hiri MP also raised concerns on the concept.
The famous Hivaso concept that people want to, or our leaders want to play politics on. If the minister can clarify whether or not this is a government policy by his department for Greater Port Moresby, or is it a concept they have, and whether or not the administration of it will be by his department to oversee or the delegated functions now to Central Provincial Government.
MP Isoaimo, whose electorate borders are implicated in the concept framework, asked Minister Rosso to clarify the matter.
He got confusion now, especially along electorate blami. Sample I talk this government like is moga haplo Central Province na make him stand. All landslide, well, through his ministry, if he can clear him thinking long this concept now he got long end. So you me as leaders no can playing politics you go come now people clear straight as to responsibility lie along Musad.
MP Isoaimo said there is confusion over the concept now among people in his electorate and province, raising concerns of land boundaries and risk of exploitation. Minister Rosso clarified that most of the land implicated in the Hivaso concept is in Central Province land, but urged both NCD and Central Province to work together on it to come to an agreement with the Lands Department to provide oversight.
It is just a concept. It is a concept by NCDC through the governor from NCDC that it's a hiri vanapa na sogeri. And we got planning concept as well, or trying to work together, or one of developing more legal towns. But all those towns and the Hivaso borders are actually inside the central province, most of it. So time all work, all must work one time central province. And it is up to central province whether to say yes or no.
The lands minister said Hivaso is currently only a concept, not by law, in which he has directed the lands board to assist the central provincial government in recent months in dealing with the concept.
Last, I think, 2 years, in my capacity as a Minister for Lands, I have made certain we've delegated responsibilities of the Lands Board to the Central Provincial Government, who are now managing their own destiny. We have also delegated the Physical Planning Board to the Central Provincial Government. So all that can work addition or usada loge ground or usada developing inside the Central Province boundaries.
After Minister Rosso said in his response statement that NCDC was the one that initiated the Hivaso concept, NCD Governor Poes Pakop immediately raised a point of order through the Speaker of Parliament to have his say on the matter.
But I want to correct that this plan did not was not created by us in NCDC, nor my office. I believe it's a plan that was formulated by National Planning.
However, despite of the NCD governor's attempt in trying to correct the minister, the speaker said his point of order was out of order, urging the governor to liaise with central provincial government and the lands department to devise the way forward.
Honorable Governor,
that's what I want to say. Thank you.
Point of order, you out of order, but you can go straight in one the minister or department, one them.
As the land registration process undergoes reviews for potential improvement, existing customary land laws remain a concern as researchers, policy makers and lawmakers endeavour to find and use the best fit for customary landowners in Papua New Guinea. The Marape government, since taking office, has been embarking on better project deals for Papua New Guineans and for them to utilize their land effectively for business purposes. But the struggle and challenges that the landowners are faced with under existing laws is a concern for many, especially those directly affected.
Trukai Sports is next after these short messages.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Capital Rugby Union continued with round 3 of their competition under their COVID restrictions this weekend. No spectators are allowed to attend the matches at Bava Park, but this has not taken away the enthusiasm from the players. In light of the current circumstances, the clubs have fielded teams in all the divisions, ensuring the smooth running of the competition.
We're very pleased. This is round 3. We had 2 rounds already gone past, and we're thankful to the national body, PNG Rugby Union, CRU working together with them to ensure that we started our competition. Another short season, but you know, we've got a different format this time. Unlike last year where we only had the Premier Grade, this season we've brought in 3 other divisions. So that's the under-19s, under-23 and the women's. We're looking to have the women's commence their competition next weekend. So we've got about 5 to 6 clubs that have confirmed participation. So we are looking at starting them with 7s format and then move on to 10s. The 15s we will see the numbers that we obviously with COVID, not a lot of clubs have confirm their participation in the women's division. But we are very pleased to be, having our competition run, and obviously the players. Quite unfortunate that we haven't got the okay to have the crowd yet, but it's business as usual for the players. They've been training for quite a long time now, so yeah, it was good. Yeah, it's been a good start for us. Yeah.
And that ends True Kai Sports. The weather report is next. All the details when we come back.
True Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. Southern region. Port Moresby, cloudy periods and windy with early morning patchy rain. Daru, partly cloudy and windy. Kerama, partly cloudy with overnight patchy rain. Alotau, cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms. And Popondetta, cloudy with patchy rain. The Mamasa region, Lay, cloudy with some showers. Madang and Wewak, cloudy periods with some showers. Vanimo, partly cloudy with brief early morning showers. For the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, partly cloudy with brief early morning showers. Kavieng, partly cloudy with brief showers. Kokopo, Rabaul and Buka, partly cloudy. Kimbe, cloudy with some showers. In the Highlands region, all centers cloudy with patchy rain, then morning fog.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that's the news, sports and weather for today, Sunday, 15th of August 2021. Until next time, have a pleasant working week. Be safe. Bye for now.